Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for our final match of this evening's sessions, and we're going to conclude the last 16 lineup. And it's going to be either an Englishman or an Australian to fill the draw. First of all, will you please welcome the 1996 World Champion, the Bronze Adonis, Steve Beaton! And now his opponent. He won one of these Euro Tour events back in 2012 when he crowned himself Dutch Darts Master. 2 times a World Championship finalist. He is a European Darts Champion. The beard to be feared, the wizard, Simon Whitlock!
She said, do you come from an underways? He just smiled and gave me a Vegemite sandwich.
Terrific match to round off things here in Gibraltar on a Saturday night. 2 European Tour champions of the past coming together on the stage in the final match of the day. Simon Whitlock, number 3 seed here this weekend. World Championship finalist, of course, in 2010 and the winner on the European Tour in Holland 5 years ago. Steve Beaton, his opponent in this one, a man who secured his European Tour success in the German Darts Masters in Sindelfingen 4 years ago, but a man who went close to winning another when he reached the final here in Gibraltar in 2014, losing to James Wade. But a man who lost in the first round here last year, so a man with a point to prove, and a man who, on the evidence of what we saw yesterday, Chris Murphy, could well do that. 99.29 his average in that 6-4 win over Mike De Decker.
Yeah, certainly could. And in each of those tournaments that you just mentioned where Steve Beaton went on to reach a final, he beat Simon Whitlock in the semi-final. In fact, they have played a lot of times, but that meeting in Gibraltar back in 2014 is the last time these two have gone head-to-head.
100.
It's one of those quirks. Some players you seem to play all the time. Simon Whitlock and Steve Beaton haven't met for 3 years.
Well, Whitlock starting this one as the odds-on favourite,
140.
by and large down to the fact he is the number 3 seed here, but I wouldn't rule Steve Beaton out of this by any stretch of the imagination. Steve Beaton, a man who on his day is capable of doing significant damage. Certainly capable of going deep in tournaments like this. He reached the quarterfinals of the World Match Play last year as well.
140.
Made the final of a Players' Championship event last year too.
121.
And the final of a UK Open qualifier as well. But disappointing last weekend, losing to Ulf Ceder 6-2 in the first round of the European Darts Grand Prix in Sindelfingen. Found himself 5-1 down in the blink of an eye. But it was Ceder who went through 6-2 with an average of 94. Beaton really didn't get going that weekend, but he's got going this weekend. He was very impressive yesterday. 6 from 11 on his doubles as well. A 1-2-4 checkout to boot. 4 1/8s yesterday. Nobody scored more than that. And he's down to a Shanghai finish here on 20s
64
for the opening leg as well.
So treble single in either order. But not that treble. Simon Whitlock's going to get a shot.
And not that single either.
To break.
76. Simon, you require 100.
Bit of bad timing there from Steve Beaton. Got himself into a decent position. It all went wrong from there, and Whitlock might look at 2 double tops, but the dart is sat up quite high, so he's having to manoeuvre his way around it. But he's found one.
60.
Oh, that's not far away at all.
That was not far away at all. Just had to do a slight double take there just to be absolutely sure, but there was no call from George Noble.
28. Simon,
we get him a chance, so if he hits with one, then he'll take the first leg and a break of throw to kick off the Wizards' conquests this weekend. Double 10 now.
And
there it is. Good start for the beard to be feared.
Second leg, Simon to throw.
Simon Whitlock, Rob, has been one of the premier players for the last 6 or 7 months after a barren couple of years, really.
Yeah, he certainly has.
He won 6 titles in as many months, but the last 4 games of darts that Simon Whitlock's played, he's lost. They're looking to put an end to that run here. It started with a defeat against Rob Cross in the German Darts Open and ended, well, hopefully ended with a defeat against Rob Cross for him in the European Darts Grand Prix. He then, in between that, had a torrid time in the Players' Championship weekend, losing to Matt Clark and Jonathan Worsley.
Yeah, the symmetry of darts in evidence there with Simon Whitlock's recent run of poor form. But as you say, towards the end of last year and at the start of this year, he had some very notable achievements. Earlier this year, pulled off 2 wins in the UK Open qualifiers, kick-started his return to form with a couple of Players' Championship wins towards the end of 2016. Claimed his first PDC title in over 2 years when he beat Ronnie Hybrex in the final of Players' Championship 18 in Dublin in October. And it was Whitlock who ended Michael van Gerwen's run of 51 successive match wins in ranking events by beating him in the last 16 there as well. So that was another feather in his cap.
Yeah, he came as close as anyone to knocking Michael van Gerwen out of one of the big majors last year. If you remember, Simon Whitlock at the European Championship missed a match start for 150 checkout.
Yep. Won Players' Championship 19 as well, hot on the heels of that success in Dublin. Beat Chris Dobie in the final of that one.
Well, it's darts like this that have allowed him those results, and that's a real pressure piler on this 1-2-2. And again, going for the finish after 1 dart, he's unable to hit, and he's done exactly the same again. Missed the second dart as well.
24.
Yep. Well, it was a 17 dart break. This could be a 16 darts hold or throw, and that's exactly what it is.
Game on.
So it's all going wonderfully for the Wizard right now.
Darryl Gurney will have an interest in this as well, because the winner of this match will face Gurney in the 3rd round tomorrow. The last 16 kicks off at 1 o'clock local time. 8 3rd round matches before the quarterfinals, semi-finals and the final. The schedule tomorrow follows the draw bracket, so Peter Wright will be on stage first against Stephen Bunting.
Yeah, then Darren Johnson against Alan Norris, Dimitri Vandenberg against Michael Smith, and Dave Chisnell against Rob Cross. Hat-trick of games featuring unseeded players there. That's the top half of the draw. And then Menso Suljevic against Christo Reyes, Van der Pas Karris, Wilson White, and the winner of this, as you said, against Darryl Gurney.
Still think you'd rather be in the bottom half. Beaton looking to be involved tomorrow.
Yeah, I think right now he'd be happy just to be in the draw. Whichever half they decide to put him, it will be the bottom half, of course.
100.
Last on this evening. There'll be last on tomorrow afternoon as well. Much better chance now for Steve Beaton. Simon Whitlock not on a finish.
Yeah, he too is down to double 12. And, well, this will be a 13 dart leg potentially for Beaton.
Stevie required 24.
Well, I think Whitlock can just do with putting this one to bed, really. OK, he's down to a finish of 164, but will he get the opportunity? He might well do.
12.
Well, he used to be the king of the big finish, didn't he, Simon Whitlock? This used to be his forte, and it's starting to be so again. Let's see if he can conjure up a magical finish here. He might.
He might well do it, you know. He might well do it, you know. Big moment. Oh.
Charge in the 3rd leg.
Wonderful. Wizard of Oz, Simon Whitlock, a 164 checkout. And an absolute killer for Steve Beaton, who just missed a trio of darts for that leg.
Absolutely sensational from Simon Whitlock. Breathtaking stuff. And that is just totally morale sapping for Steve Beaton. And Simon Whitlock has just maintained that level of intensity by kicking off with a 180 in the start of the 4th leg as well. Absolutely brutal from Simon Whitlock.
Yeah, incredible darts. The 164 checkout followed by a maximum, and he's looking to follow it with another one. And he might just do that. And the Wizard, Simon Whitlock, has set up the prospect of a magical 9. He's already just thrown 9 perfect darts in a row. Can he make it 12? and produce
41.
a perfect leg.
Time you require 141.
Well, he's got the momentum clearly behind him. He has the wind in his sails. 9 perfect darts already. Can he make it 10, 11 and 12 here? No, he can't. Well, that would have been something truly special,
83.
I think.
Well, it was, wasn't it? It was
Well, it was
special.
anyway.
The sequence from Simon Whitlock. I mean, the crowd have been a little more noisy tonight at one point, ticked off by
96,
referee
on
George
your
Noble.
58.
More than ticked off, it was a yellow card, I think.
But they were completely silent then as they watched Simon Whitlock tee up the prospect of a 9-dart finish.
Well, it's not the 11-dart leg, but it is a 12-dart leg.
Simon Whitlock.
And it is
Steve to throw first.
4-0, and this one is threatening to be over before it's really got going. Simon Whitlock, perfect stuff. Dream start,
85.
4-0, Beaton, surely a beaten man here. He's got an awful lot to do. And Simon Whitlock clearly in the mood.
Well, I'm not sure if he's
57.
got a table booked for a meal or something after this, but he's racing away with it, isn't he? Not giving Beaton, well, Beaton had the chance, but Simon Whitlock didn't allow him over that 164 checkout, sparked that little run.
81.
Back-to-back 180s followed it. Whitlock averaging around 100.
$140.
Had already hit another match before that, so his tally is up to 3, but Steve Beaton's had 5 darts at double, and his legs 1 column still reads 0.
134.
Yeah, he needed those 2 trebles there, did Beaton as well. Whitlock just looking to go toe-to-toe here with Beaton in this 5th leg.
40.
Peculiar bounce out. Steve Beaton needs all the luck he can get at the minute.
58.
And as has been the case for Steve Beaton in his twilight years of his darting career, often goes from one extreme
52.
to the other.
Steve Recall 143.
Superb yesterday, has been unable to hit those heights today, and Simon Whitlock has just dominated this darts match.
102.
Well, Steve Beaton has hit a 9-dart finish this year. It was against James Richardson in a qualifier for one of these Euro Tour events, but Whitlock here threatening another 180. And he's really in the frame here. Beaton, though, has the chance to snatch it, but Whitlock has applied a lot of pressure here, turning the screw at just the right time. Beaton needs a finish. Hasn't been convincing on the doubles when he's had the chances today, but he finds double 16.
Yeah, that'll be a bit of a settler for Steve Beaton, because Simon Whitlock's just been chucking everything at him. 4 180s that he might be about to make. 5. Opted to switch, didn't like the lie. But that timely 180 to leave double 16. Fair play to Steve Beaton, pegging that last dart in hand.
Talked about the 170s we've seen already this weekend, 2 of them. I think, given the circumstances, that was the best finish of the weekend so far by a distance.
Yeah, we'll see if Dan Dawson dishes out his acclaimed award to Simon Whitlock.
I think he should do. I think it's a no-brainer for him.
95.
Certainly deserves it.
Huge check
On the
out.
evidence of today. Is he in the money again here? He is, you know. This is just relentless from Simon Whitlock. Just no stopping him at the moment on the 180s. 5th of the match for him.
123.
Could have had another 9 darts in the treble with that one. He's thrown 9 darts. He's down to 48. And if he hits double 16 with one of the next 2, which he has done, it's an 11 darter and a 5-1 lead.
Game on.
And a huge average, threatening to be the best of the day.
5 180s to boot as well. Somebody else did fire 5 180s earlier today. The identity of that man that just escapes me for the time being. But it doesn't matter, because what we're seeing now is a very, very emphatic display by Simon Whitlock.
Was it Rob Cross? He hit a lot.
57.
And there we see the 11-dart leg. The highlight of Whitlock's performance so far, but there have been many, many others.
140.
Plenty to look back on here for Simon Whitlock if, assuming he does go through to the third round tomorrow. There'll be plenty of highlights for him to
100.
reflect upon here.
Well, the tastiest ingredient in the cake for Simon Whitlock was that 164 checkout, which you can see there. He might score 95 and put the cherry on top with a 170 in this last leg. Not quite, needed the treble 19 to do it.
Yeah, but 5 from 8 on his doubles as well. That's also... Yeah, you can't live with that sometimes. When it's all tallied together. Beaton 1 from 7. The miss starts at double 12 and double 6 in the third leg really did the damage.
We'll see, Beaton's left the 170 instead. Could he supersede Simon's shot? He might have to if he's got designs of staying on stage a little longer. It's not going to happen. So Simon Whitlock will return for 74. And the way that he's checking out, you think this could be the last 3 darts of this Saturday here in Gibraltar.
Yes, it could well be indeed. It could be the end of the road for Steve Beaton. 60 away then for Whitlock. So 1 dart at tops here for a 15 darts break of throw, but 74. Beaton has an opportunity to get a second leg on the board. He too is looking at 60 here as well.
34.
And Whitlock will return.
Exactly the same outcome from exactly the same target, but Simon Whitlock steps forward for another break of throw. And a 6-1 victory against Steve Beaton. Wonderful stuff from the Wizard. The 164 checkout. Really the body blow for Beaton. Simon Whitlock 102 average, threatened the 9 darter as well with back-to-back 180s. That was in a combination of 9 perfect darts, but Whitlock will be back in the fray tomorrow. Last on in the afternoon session, Peter Wright against Stephen Bunting, Johnson Norris, Vandenberg Smith, Chisnell Cross, Suljevic Reyes, Van der Pas Carriage, Wilson White and Darrell Gurney against that man Simon Whitlock, who has produced a fantastic performance to defeat that man Steve Beaton. Let's hear from the Wizard and join us again tomorrow for the final day of action.
Simon, congratulations. Strong display, average over 100.
Really, I'm very happy with that performance. You know, last time I played Steve here, he beat me, so yeah, payback's good.
It's unbelievable, I always think, that you remember these things. Last time here, Steve beat me.
Yeah, you always remember the losses, not the wins, but yeah, it's good to get one back on him.
You've been playing very, very well over the last 10 months, sort of. It's time to win a Euro Tour again, I think, or not?
Yeah, definitely. You know what? I'm not here to lose. I come here to do my best, and I believe I can win. So just one day at a time, one game at a time, and see what happens.
Well, it's off to bet now. I'm going to put you to bet now. Ladies and gentlemen, he'll be back tomorrow for the last 16. The Wizard, Simon Whitlock! And